Bissau. Nyade. Oziabu, I want you to ask Maestro, why is Al Hilal Sudan playing in the Rwanda League? Say with them is a
Tokana.
And no nama. Omakwaku PM of our mobile anyway. The Maestro I crama mena. Yanyana ne ya oda mo nkomo bidini ankomra ne embrafi.
DIABY, and right, we had a lot of matches at Etoja when it comes to the UEFA Champions League night. Now, one particular coach, Eli Yankon, who in this particular season, when it comes to Champions League, Papa Mikel Arteta. DIABY, when it comes to UEFA Champions League, sometimes we level some of the experienced coaches are omonim there. Ajibida, some of these stages no drew to its maximum peak. So when you're on coach for these particular clubs, they can easily do wonders in creating historical records for themselves. But we've seen Mikel Arteta, he has been able to do that kind of thing for the side of Arsenal Football Club. Now, in the last 10 games that Mikel Arteta has played for Arsenal Football Club, he has been consistent in winning some major games for the side of Arsenal. When he played against Sporting CP, he gave them 5-1. Against AS Monaco, he gave them 3-0. Against Dynamo Zagreb, he also gave them 3-0. And against Girona, 2-1. Athletic Club, he gave them 2-0. And then Olympiacos 2. And other games, he has been able to do that kind of wonders for the side of Arsenal Football Club. But apart from that, Arsenal is not only the English club which has set that particular record now. Manchester United in 1965-1966 season, they went 10 games unbeaten. But then even in the unbeaten period, a consistent number of wins. No, just some kind of draws. So that consistent number of games are not a lot of winless streaker. If you're back a man draw, so Oman to me and fan papa sa ewo. Leeds United in 1969-1970 and that's 1970. They also had that particular record. Now, Liverpool had that same record in 21-2022 season and then came back to repeat and also equal that same record in 2024-2025 season. That record. Manchester City and so your 2023-2024 season and Arsenal so equal that particular record now. But the Arsenal they are done so ahead of any other clubs. Both Manchester United, Leeds United, Liverpool, Manchester City. How Mikel Arteta has been consistent in winning, making sure so on draw in any of these particular games than Nkempo will lose in any of these 10 games which must set that particular record. The only side to actually win with a 100% record this season has been Arsenal, making sure that in the last 10 consistent games, we equal that particular record Arsenal Football Club. And I believe that Mikel Arteta is doing something wonderful for Arsenal and then he needs to be applauded this season. Season win, Medin Komo say is either Mikel Arteta will make sure so Obe bounce back in winning the EPL for Arsenal Football Club. And now in Champions League, the last time Arsenal conjured that magic in the final in 2006 against FC Barcelona, Mikel Arteta can also repeat that same final into the final of UEFA Champions League this season. Senebe beating Aboma Arsenal are equal and also achieve a success with this kind of investment or in this project in the last consistent number of years. But me the Arsenal home command. There is this particular player in the Barcelona team are also a breaking records. Now Lamine Yamal in 2025 season, we haven't seen Lamine Yamal all this kind of things because the last season the whole Barcelona team was all about Rafinha, making sure to be breaking the boundaries and Obetima equal some wonderful records for FC Barcelona. But this is Lamine Yamal in 2025. 23 goals plus 22 assists for FC Barcelona, making sure Obetima 45 goals and assists for FC Barcelona Football Club, but then he just 18 years. But none one against Eintracht Frankfurt, Barca winning by 2-1. But now Marcus Rashford Basso. He wasn't able to score a goal, but then he made an assist for Jules Kounde or making sure so best set that particular record now. At the age of 18 years, so Upe players are no more under 19 years no more share CFF in the UEFA Champions League and goal scoring chart now. It was right. Kylian Mbappe in those seasons making sure so be equal that particular record. That's a 2-1 history. But making sure so be 6 goals plus 7 assists, making a total sum of 13 goals in that particular caliber at the time. No one 19 years. But then Lamine Yamal, now one double against Eintracht Frankfurt has been able to equal that particular record. And on one setting or no there at the age of 19 years, making sure so 7 goals plus 7 assists, making 14 goals in total submission for Lamine Yamal this season, and it tells you say this season if FC Barcelona will go far in the UEFA Champions League, you can count on Lamine Yamal, you can count on Rafinha, Lewandowski, Ferran Torres, and Marcus Rashford this season. Or attacking moment for FC Barcelona, they beat my solid at the moment this season, and I believe say they can easily achieve that kind of success with a new history. Lamine Yamal, FC Barcelona, no, they can do that particular job for this particular club. But rather, the big game no was ignited at the Santiago Bernabeu. We Real Madrid Football Club Olusu to the side of Manchester City in that particular level. The last time on the side of Real Madrid Olusu, and in the last 8 games, Madrid ain't me Olusu was Santiago Bernabeu, and they've not been able to lose because of say just a single game Olusu here. And the last time Olusu was Santiago Bernabeu was far back in 2020. And now, almost also repeated that same scoreline as also happened in the year 2020 when they lost by 1-2 against Manchester City. And it was the same Pep Guardiola and then they coach Manchester City. And now that Omulusu here. So it tells you say what happened in 2020, no, it has also replaced and it has also repeated in 2025. But so what checking Real Madrid Football Club, Xabi Alonso. The last number of games Somabo currently as speak, both in the UEFA Champions League and even the La Liga, and also in all other countries now. Madrid 8 may win back up at DIABY. Against Girona, almost ball draw. Athletic Club, almost show by 3-0. Celta Vigo over the weekends, almost lose by 2-0. And Enra against Manchester City, almost also elusu by 2-0. That tells you, say, baby, Xabi Alonso ababe Juno. It will become very difficult unless Madrid in Penny some Madrid. So Omun change the idea of sacking him just after the Manchester City game. But I will check the last successive games of Madrid double with this number of starts. It tells you say Xabi Alonso is not doing something right for the side of Real Madrid Football Club. But DIABY, so we'll check English club or facing against Spanish side this season. It has been a total dominance of English side against the Spanish La Liga sides.
Okay.
And normal. Madrid Asia Manchester City will lose. I can't want them. Chelsea Asia Barcelona will lose. And I say Chelsea share no by 3-0. Liverpool. In a group stage this same season, share Madrid no, or share Madrid by 1-0. And Arsenal, the last 2 weeks of the UEFA Champions League, no, they were able to score Atletico Madrid by 4-0. So it tells you say, it tells you this season, the Spanish side, the English side this season, no, these English people no has been able to dominate, total dominance over the English clubs, and it tells you say, farmer, but check out, Pep Guardiola, the last game of all winning in the 2-1 victory, it's equal that record on 7 victories for the side of Pep Guardiola. But Enra, we saw a total definition of tactics between Xabi Alonso and Pep Guardiola. Guardiola about the 4-1-4-1 tactical flexibility, and we are seeing Papa Xabi Alonso playing the 4-3-3 system in emotional about the pressing system of football, making sure say baby be obenya. Pep Guardiola biano obitima press Ediama the side of Real Madrid Football Club. But so check it and that the kind of tactical formation as Xabi Alonso do call so this is the back of Real Madrid Football Club. About the 4 back, 3 in the midfield and 3 in attacking moment of Real Madrid Football Club. But Enra, now you saw a lot of movement for the side of Federico Valverde. Oh, this is how we check the first starting lineup now. Valverde no airball in the full back position. But se Valverde air anymore or Daniel no as a centric midfielder supporting Dani Ceballos or dictating play or making sure so be composing in most of the movement in attacking to the Real Madrid Football Club. It is Federico Valverde will become that inverted midfielder. On Ubetimiabua supporting the likes of Dani Ceballos or many any Jude Bellingham in the midfield of Real Madrid Football Club. It is a we share the first picture now. That's now. Mondrobo first picture now. Now this is Federico Valverde because of say on a natural right full back position and he is actually struggling to defend very well against the numerical advantage of Manchester City in the defensive structure of Madrid Football Club. So what between Onuni space any Raul was saying it was so obvious. Say the space na there this number of attackers no more anymore can easily use that kind of things to capitalize on that particular grounds and make sure so meet me use in defeating Xabi Alonso in most of the moments. No one call at the number of traitor Pep Guardiola Eyusu Nico Aureli as that kind of player not all used in the left full back position, making sure so bet me I inverting as a central progressor, as a typical number 10, was also inverted in that particular position in the auxiliary number 9 role at the Manchester City. It all began when Pep Guardiola began to know, say, so we would check it, the right full balance, the right flanks of Real Madrid Football Club bottom now. Sometimes it is very difficult for them to have the basic transition for them. But so we should be a lot of overloads. It was Manchester City using the right flanks of Real Madrid Football Club, capitalizing on that particular fullback position and making sure so they can either do that particular magic in those moments. But Jude Bellingham, the sort of Denis Ceballos, and then Rodri in the attacking mode for Real Madrid Football Club, DIABY, and it created a beautiful magic. So Madrid air press now so move breaking in counter moves. It is a certain Jude Bellingham and Vinicius Junior which might break that particular move. This I will check it. The first goal need to be by now. Check it the moment and Jude Bellingham placing that particular ball in the right flanks of Madrid Romanca's opposite half. Making sure say Rodrigo De Guzman will actually have that kind of space now, and then he will place that ball in a short limit pass against Donnarumma for him to score that particular wonderful goal. It was a game of tactics, a game of Xabi Alonso versus Pep Guardiola, but in the end, we saw the experienced nature of Pep Guardiola. But DIABY, so we'll compare Guardiola and Xabi Alonso. Xabi Alonso is not fair and Pep Guardiola. Martina Haka said, when it comes to big games, I would never support Xabi Alonso when it comes to big games. This season, the only big game Xabi Alonso, Ashe, no one convinced Santiago Bernabeu fans Kakrano was against Barcelona in the El Clasico. Apart from that, big games, Xabi Alonso, Olusu, and Yamared he started at Bayo for Leverkusen. And on your coach, do big games are Otimichen and Bobby.
Mate, young Connie Ninkomo lost in about said Talmas.